A pleasant morning to all of you guys. So I am Jericho Trinidad of Bitibidid 2 and 80, and now we are going to explain what is refrigerant in its oils. The first goal is to understand the refrigerant types and its compound, and also the oil. But first, what is refrigerant? So refrigerant is a low pressure gas that is stored in copper coils. So copper is fantastic for heat transfer, which is why it is used in so many applications. The heat and the air gets absorbed by the copper coils, and the refrigerant inside the now hot gas becomes liquid and it is moved outside the device, which pans where it eventually cools down and becomes a gas again. The constant cycle pushed by fans moves on the cold air into the desired space, fridge, home, car, and etc., and the hot air outside. So, what is the purpose of this one? So, the basic theory of cooling is we feel a little cold even on a hot day after swimming. This is because the water in the body takes away the heat when it evaporates from the body. Other one is that for some reason, we feel cool when we apply alcohol to our arms. The alcohol takes away the heat from the arms when it evaporates. We can make objects cool using the natural phenomenon by causing a liquid to take heat from a substance when it evaporates. So one of the best example of this one is when we are on our house, when we are in the front of the electric fan. I know that all of us have electric fan in our home, and yes, when we are on the electric fans, when the air flows to our body, when we feel the sensation of cooling. So that is the one of the basic theory of cooling. So, what are the required conditions of refrigerants? So, for a refrigerant for a car or AC, the following conditions are required: ease of evaporation and liquidization, safety, and scientific stability and quality do not change. So, first one is the refrigerant 12 or R12. So, chemical composition of this one is refrigerant R12 or Freon 12 is said to be the most widely used of all refrigerants being used for a different application. So, the chemical name of refrigerant R12 is dichlorodifluoromethane or dichlorodifluoromethane, and its chemical formula is CCI2F2. So, this molecular weight of R12 is 120.9 and its boiling point is negative 21.6 degree Fahrenheit. And since R12 has the molecules of chlorine and fluorine, it is called chlorofluorocarbon or CFC. So we all know that CFCs is very dangerous to our atmosphere. So mamaya baka itatakal natin yan, okay? Alright, so characteristic of R12. So what are the characteristics of R12? So R12 is highly stable in chlorofluorocarbon, and does not disintegrate even under the extreme of radiation condition. However, if it's brought in contact with the flame of fire, the electrical heating element, it will be disintegrated into the toxic products. So R12 has the boiling point of negative 21.6 degree Fahrenheit or negative 29.8 degrees Celsius, due to which it condenses at the moderate pressure at the atmospheric temperature. So napapansin naman natin na ang R12 or ang refrigerants is easily condenses at a moderate pressure. So, kahit negative 28 degrees Celsius, in our room environment, which is 37 degree or higher, it easily evaporates on our atmospheric or natural temperature. So this means the discharge pressure of the compressor should be only moderate so as it to reduce the condensation of the refrigerant in the condenser at the atmospheric temperature. So this helps in using the compressor flow compression ratio that has a higher efficiency. So due to this property, refrigerant is used in wide range of application like high temperature, medium temperature, and low temperature application. Can be used with the type of compressors like reciprocating, centrifugal, and rotary. So, ang R12 is one of the most flexible element or nagagamit. Flexible means nagagamit kasi ito sa wide range of application. So, um, dahil sa low compression, which is depende sa flow ng compression mo, or when the device is on low compression, high compression, medium compression, you can definitely control the flow of this kind of refrigerant. Okay? So the safety precautions and handling R12. So we all know that elements are very this kind of elements is very harmful to us when we inhale it. Syempre, refrigerant R12 is uh, based dito, refrigerant R12 is non-toxic, non-flammable, non-explosive. But some factors and some research shows that it is dangerous for us if we inhale it, since it can produce water vapor or a vapor or attracts vapor in our lungs. So ayun na, kahit na nga chemically explained that this is non-toxic. However, it will be some also can cause some problems when you are on in our lungs. Okay, so those whenever this leakage are actually is advised to pull out of the place and keep the doors open so they can escape the open atmosphere. So as again, it will be whenever there's a leakage of R12, syempre we need to keep it on outdoor, so that the atmosphere or so it can goes to the atmosphere. Okay, so R12 is the most widely used refrigerant. Unfortunately, it is the CFC, and it has unusually high potential to cause depletion of the ozone layer. So what I said earlier, CFC, or the chlorofluorocarbon, or is the R12 is a kind of chlorofluorocarbon, and usually this is the main enemy of our ozone layer. So it can cause the depletion of ozone layer, which is usually we are currently suffering from this kind of problem. So R12 is being replaced by other refrigerants and some of the suggested replacement for R12. So ang R12 are I read some articles about R12. So R12 is not actually used now, since this one is highly potential of destruction of our ozone layer. So there's some alternatives that we can use as a refrigerants. The most common substitute for that one is the R134A. So on the modern cars, R134A, the refrigerant. So this refrigerant is used widely on variety of cars like Mercedes, Honda, and Toyota. Okay, so refrigerant, the R134A, the R134A, as I said, it is one of the most common. So this chemical composition is compound of tetrafluoro tetrafluoroethane. So comprising of two atoms of carbons, two atoms of hydrogen, and four atoms of fluorine. So yung chemical formula nito is CF3CH2F. So the molecular weight is refrigerant is R143 R134A is 1334, and its boiling point is 15 negative 15 degree Fahrenheit. Okay? So, mapapansin natin na ang CF3CH2F or 134A is a light heavier than the R12. Okay? So, for the evaporator temperature, 7 degrees, and isentropic discharge temperature from the compressor for both refrigerants is same. The total horsepower required per ton is also the same. So, it's likely the common grounds of this one is also the weight, the temperature, the compress factor, and so on and so far. So, safety precaution in handling R134A is hydrofluorocarbon. So, kung kanina ang R12 is chlorofluorocarbon, this one is the hydrofluorocarbon or HFC. This is also has a zero potential to cause the depletion of the ozone layer. So this is why R134A is recommended on substituting the R12 refrigerant. So it can cause the depletion of the ozone layer and very little greenhouse effect. So we all know that greenhouse effect can cause climate change. Alright, so R134A is the non-flammable and non-explosive, has toxicity within limits and good chemical stability. It has somehow high affinity for the moisture. So thus the refrigerant R3 can be used for the low temperature application, also without the need to produce vacuum and low pressure side of the refrigeration system. So this is the downside or the I think the downside of the 134A, since this one is only used in the low temperature application, also without the need to produce vacuum and low pressure side. So it is like plus minus factor. Okay, so R134A is miscible with the synthetic oil or lubricants. So, we all know na siguro yung some of us or some of the automotive students know that when we are refilling R134A or refrigerant in our cooling system in the car or in automobile, we need we typically need on the compressor, we typically need to put some oils. So, some of the oils, so yun nga, yung mga synthetic oil and lubricants natin. So, ito, all the mineral oil should be removed from the system and it should be replaced with the ester-based synthetic oil. Alright? So, ang gamit dito is ester-based synthetic oil. Alright? And other one, types of refrigerant oil. So, dumako naman tayo sa refrigerant oil na ginagamit. R12 used mineral oil or alkyl benzene oil. So, itong mineral oils na to, lubrication and refrigeration compressors, have been developed to a high level of performance and have a served with distinction over a wide range of application. However, in some cases, the demands of refrigeration system has exceeded the ability of mineral oils to perform adequately. So, because of the modernization and also mechanical advancement, even though that alkyl benzene oil is very widely used purpose, however, it's reached its limitation. So some of the ability exceeded the ability of mineral oils. Okay? So, syempre may naka-overlaps din. Napag-iiwanan din ang benzene oil. So, alkyl benzene oil have been found to offer improvement performance in the refrigeration system both with respect of better oil return and better high temperature stability. So, the good thing here, it's respect oil return and better high temperature stability. So, typical properties of an alkyl benzene oil are compared with those mineral oil with typical properties of an alkyl benzene oil are compared with those about the same viscosity. Alright, so it will be have the same viscosity. So the viscosity of the standard reference temperature is 100 Fahrenheit and 210 Fahrenheit. Is it similar for both oils in the example shown? The change in viscosity with temperature seems to be slightly less for alkyl benzene than the mineral oil, but the difference is not considered significant. Okay, so some of the mineral oil and also the temperature will be widely used for the purpose of having an almost the same temperature from other one. Okay, so it's considered the difference, consider a significant uh, difference from this one. So R134A use POE oil, sorry. So it is a synthetic oil, a type of synthetic oil used in refrigeration. So compressors that is compatible with the refrigerants of R134A, R410A, and R12. Recommended by all experts are replaced for hydrocarbons, HPCs along with the R134A. FOE oil is recommended as a replacement for R12 mineral oil. Okay. So, since this is the last one, so yes, like what I said, it will be like, this is the recommended replacement for R12 mineral oil or for the alkyl benzene oil. Okay, and then wild question. So some of us think why we didn't use which is the so or the or dry ice on cooling, even though it has an also a same effect of cooling factor, since it's like negative, also hundreds of negatives on degrees Celsius, or it's colder than the coldest one of the coldest chemical, or it's just dry ice. So it's like a carbon, it is like solidified carbon. So that, I think that is the reason why it's not used on refrigeration or in cooling, since carbons can potentially high potential of this of making a greenhouse effect. Okay. Alright, so I think we're all set. So if that's the case, thank you so much for listening. And again, I am Jericho Trinidad of BTPD 2 and 80. Okay?